Hello, my name is Katarina Evans. I am presenting my informative speech on the death penalty in Texas. So I'm going to go through the evolution of it, where it began, where it is now, and let's just dive in. So in 1835, the death penalty was carried out by a 5-layer hemp noose. That's what they used to. It broke off the C1 and the C2, so it internally decapitated them and instantly caused death. These affairs were in public. Everybody was allowed to come. Anybody that wanted to come see somebody die, come on, get some popcorn. And so in 1923, J.W. Thomas passed a bill that hanging was not, there's no morals in hanging. And also that there should be no public execution. Over the next few decades, execution became the mandated method of execution throughout most of the country. It was deemed more humane and ultimately considered more civilized means of putting criminals to death. No, I don't think so. Eventually, gruesome facts came out and stories about when people are in the electric chair, down to burning flesh, down to their eyes coming out of their head, different things like that. It was just really, really gruesome, and it wasn't okay. Capital punishment was at an all-time low throughout the 1960s. Numerous cases made it to Supreme Court arguing that the death penalty inflicted cruel, unusual punishment. Just think about that. Cruel and unusual punishment for people that have taken lives, people that have ruined lives. This is cruel and unusual for them. It was therefore in violation of the 8th Amendment. Between years of 1924 and 1964, a total of 361 inmates were electrocuted right here at home in Texas. In 1972, a debate culminated that the Supreme Court case of Furman versus Georgia, in which the Supreme Court ruled the death penalty in its current state to be revoked. This landmark case resulted in a moratorium on the death penalty. In 1973, Texas Penal Code was revised and the death penalty was reinstated in Texas 1 year later in 1974. It was during this time that lethal injection was introduced as an alternative to electrocution. So they're like, okay, so the burning flesh, everything like that, we don't want to deal with it anymore. It stinks. We don't want to clean it up. What are we going to do? Well, here we go. California Governor Ronald Reagan was one of the first American politicians to suggest lethal injection. He likened it to his experience having a horse put down by a veterinarian with the same medication. He explained that the animal was simply given the shot and put to sleep. He wasn't shaking in a chair, his eyes weren't burning out of his head, just went to sleep. Like hanging and electrocution before it, lethal injection has suffered severe criticism as well. You got a lot of people that don't believe in the death penalty. They think that our maker or whoever they believe in is who should take them. Arguments pointed to stories of botched executions, as in the case of Texas offender Raymond Landry. As the drugs were being administered, the syringe came out of Landry's arm and the deadly chemicals were sprayed across the room towards the witnesses. I'm guessing this is when they put the glass up. Texas has witnessed significant changes in capital punishment over the past 2 centuries as state lawmakers have attempted to both modernize, humanize a very controversial practice. I mean, what's as controversial as a death penalty? It's a pretty big deal. We are considered the most execution active state in the U.S., sentencing 2 to 3 convicts a month to death. And of the 800 executions in the United States since 1976, 285 of those executions have been carried out here in Texas. I got my information from Texas History 101. It was from Texas Monthly. It was an article. The link will be down below in my video. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoy it.